on the Dr. Daliah Show. Thank you all for tuning in. 1-877-Doc Dali, 1-877-DOC-DALI. Okay, so many of you might think you have bladder infection, and you're like, I'm always getting bladder infections these days. What's going on? Meanwhile, though, you're wiping number one before number two. You're drinking plenty of water. And I've told many of you that these might not be bladder infections. It might be something called interstitial cystitis. So joining us next is Heather Florio, CEO at Desert Harvest, to talk to us about interstitial cystitis and some of the cool things that are out there to treat it. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us. So, with telemedicine exploding and, people going online, going, I have a UTI and getting treated, I always tell people, get themselves checked because it might not be a UTI. It could be interstitial cystitis. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so interstitial cystitis is it is an inflammation lacking of the bladder lining for interstitial cystitis patients. So imagine a constant UTI that never goes away, the debilitating pain, burning, frequency, but forever. And that is interstitial cystitis. So many women go and deal with chronic, recurrent UTIs over and over and over again. And it really, interstitial cystitis, unfortunately, because we don't understand the etiology, how it comes to be is it really becomes a diagnosis of exclusion. And us as women, we have so much, especially for women, this does affect men and women, about 80% women, about 20% men. But for us women, we have so much else going on down in that pelvic region. And so it becomes really hard to ascertain. Let's say we have endometriosis, we have uterine fibroids, we have, other ovarian issues going on. And so the diagnosing the pain and getting it down to that bladder can sometimes be a little difficult.
It's true. And, as a physician, I am very nervous that millions of women are getting antibiotics online. They might feel better temporarily, but they're taking antibiotics after antibiotics, which I think is going to affect their immune system and increase resistance. And there's possibly better things out there. Well, you, for example, you're hoping to get FDA approval on your product. Talk to us about this.
Yes, correct. So we've been making our Super Strength Aloe Vera capsules now for about 28 years, and these were developed specifically for interstitial cystitis patients. Aloe is made up of glycosaminoglycans, which is the gag layer of the bladder that's missing in an interstitial cystitis patient. So it is theorized that those are creating that coating, that lining, and acting as kind of that barrier protectant, anti-inflammatory, analgesic. And in our double-blind placebo-controlled studies, we had an 87.5% response rate of some or complete relief of all interstitial cystitis symptoms with just taking our capsules. We wanted to follow that up with a more detailed study at Wake Forest University with Dr. Robert Evans and their integrative regenerative medicine. And so we're going a little bit step further in this research. And when we started and we registered with clinicaltrials.gov, they asked us to become a drug, the FDA, and we said, okay, let's do it. So we're going to turn our supplement into a drug. This is not what you typically go get on the health food store shelves, and we are constantly educating because it's always like, why is this bottle $10? Why is this bottle $60? And for us, it's constant educating to let them know that this is made especially for interstitial cystitis. So we're all about concentrating the nutrients. We're all about removing the negative components that are naturally in aloe vera, the anthraquinones that are latex chemicals that act as an irritant to the colon, and long-term have been proven in studies to be carcinogenic and can cause liver damage and kidney damage. And so we have a patented process that filters all of those out, all of the insoluble fiber. We freeze dry it with our patented process, and then we put it into a natural vegan capsule, and we add a little bit of calcium carbonate to help raise the pH to make it as alkaline for the bladder. And so this is in high concentration, high doses, and long term. And most of what is made on the market that you see in aloe vera these days is made for cosmetic grade. It's made for digestive aid, so a short-term use to maybe get the bowels moving, or some people use it as a weight loss, which is not recommended. But, these are typically the things that you see on the shelves these days. And so we are constantly educating to make people understand. So hopefully with this FDA approval, we'll be able to be that first-line treatment that every doctor is recommending before they go into the more invasive side effect type treatments.
Absolutely. We're speaking to Heather Florio, CEO at Desert Harvest. What I also like about this is, we've known aloe has had medicinal properties, but you guys are actually studying the concentration of it. You're studying the applications of it. And rather than it being more cosmetic, and this is something that I think we have long asked for to be on, in our medical toolbox. And so I'm really grateful for what you guys are doing. So, in the last minute and a half, where are you in terms of the FDA approval, and how can people then find out more information?
So we are just kind of in the initial phase 1 trial currently. That should finish up sometime next year, and then we'll kind of see where we go. So we're at least a couple of years probably away from the FDA approval, but people can definitely, in the meantime, visit us on our website at desertharvest.com, or give any of our amazing representatives a call at 800-222-3901. We love to answer questions.
Yeah, and we'll probably have you back on the show later. What's so fascinating is you could, like you said, in addition to study this, there might be other applications like rheumatoid arthritis, migraines, skin conditions. They've been studying aloe with cancer. So where you guys go with this can possibly lead to tons more applications, and it's fascinating. So Heather, you and your team at Desert Harvest, thank you again so much for all you do. And one more time, if you could give us the website.
That is desertharvest.com, and thank you so much for having me, Dr. Daliah.
We appreciate it. All right, guys, don't go away. We'll be right back. 1-877-Doc Dali.